Since we last spoke, the group chat of a Republican organization was leaked, and what was said in there sent shockwaves across America. Huge changes are coming for everyone that uses ChatGPT. We may be witnessing the end of an era in entertainment. Turns out HS Tiki-Taki is going to be in jail for longer than we expected. And Donald Trump just had one of the most insane 48 hours the world has seen in a while. All of that and so much more. Subscribe to the channel because we just hit 900K. Come on! I said you guys weren't doing your job, and you came through, and you put the work in. So thank you. Let's stop the yapping, and let's get cracking! Okay, how do we not kick today off with one of the craziest stories? Trump has just had one of the busiest days of his life, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Oh, bro is a menace. In the morning, Trump left the US, flew to Israel, where he immediately addressed the Israeli parliament, where he was also called
the greatest friend that the state of Israel has ever had in the White House.
He was then interrupted by an MP who shouted about Gaza genocide, but then was quickly rushed out of the room, which Trump said,
"That was very efficient."
He then, after that, got on a plane, flew all the way to Egypt for the final signing of the ceasefire deal, which officially concluded the war after 2 years.
The war is over. War is over. The war is over, okay? Do you understand that?
He then invited more than 20 world leaders, some of which he said only had 20 minutes notice, but they still dropped everything and turned up. In fact, one of those world leaders that he invited was Netanyahu, but he had to officially uninvite him after the Turkish president said that he would not land his plane, so he just started circling it in the air until he got word that Bibi wasn't going to be there. And then once he said, all right, he isn't, he landed that shit. He had yet another insane handshake with the French president Macron, so the saga continues. In fact, he arm wrestled with bro. However, one of the longest handshakes he actually had with world leaders was with the Palestinian Authority president. He had a very awkward moment with Keir Starmer, which has now genuinely become an iconic clip.
United Kingdom. Where's the United Kingdom? Where's my friend? Come here. Is everything going good? Very good. That's very nice of you here. These people all came in like 20-minute notice. And I think it's fantastic. And we have so many others, and just so many others. And
he accidentally called Canada's Prime Minister a president, and then said he's lucky he didn't call him a governor.
I'm glad you upgraded me to president. Did I say? That's good. I started.
He called Italy's Prime Minister beautiful.
We have a woman, a young woman who's... I'm not allowed to say it because usually it's the end of your political career if you say it. She's a beautiful young woman. Now, if you use the word beautiful in the United States about a woman, that's the end of your political career, but I'll take my chances. Where is she? There she is. You don't mind being called beautiful, right? Because you are. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it.
He then even said in front of all of them that he didn't like some of the world leaders attending, but...
You'll never find out who they are. Well, maybe you will, come to think of it.
Now, after the deal was officially signed, even some of Trump's political opponents gave him credit, including Biden, Bill Clinton, and even shockingly, Hillary. Egypt awarded Trump the Order of the Nile, which is the country's highest state honor. Only one other president, US president, has been awarded that, Jimmy Carter. Time magazine praised Trump, calling him a hero, and then Trump responded by saying that it was a relatively good article that they wrote, but they used the worst picture of all time. And then he said he's never been a fan of taking pictures from the underneath angles. Never did I think I would hear a president talking about the angles of pictures. He likes and dislikes. He then concluded by saying that we are not going to have World War III and that we will have peace in the Middle East.
There was a time that you would have thought it could have, but it's not going to happen. There won't be World War III, hopefully at all.
He then got back on the plane and arrived back in Washington in the early hours of the morning, slept for a couple of hours, and you think, you know what, maybe you take the day off the next day. I'll play a little bit of golf, chill out. No. He then attended and spoke at a special ceremony honoring Charlie Kirk on what would have been his 32nd birthday.
Thank you very much. But I raced back halfway around the globe. I was going to call Erica and say, Erica, could you maybe move it to Friday? And I didn't have the courage to call. But you know why I didn't call? Because I heard today was Charlie's birthday. And I said, that was a definite.
He even awarded Kirk with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, which is actually the highest honor a civilian can receive in the United States. And I mean, if we could just all for 1 second put aside the nature of what he does, as a 79-year-old man, how does he do? How does he do it? How do you find the energy to do all of that? And bro's been doing that since he got elected. What is he on? I mean, I am tired simply trying to cover all of the things that he's doing, let alone actually doing them. Alex, you're editing all of what he does. You think you could take on his schedule? Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Moving on. Also, last night, Politico just leaked the group chat messages. And as soon as I say group chat and leaked in the same sentence, you know is bad. They leaked the messages of the Young Republican National Federation. And good lord. There are 28,000 messages that span over several months, and just quoting the top line of this report, they referred to black people as monkeys and the watermelon people. They mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. They talked about their enemies and driving them to suicide, and lauded Republicans who they believed support slavery. The General Counsel for the New York State Young Republicans wrote, "Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic." And other texts read, "Great, I love Hitler. I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkey play ball. Stay in the closet, it. And if we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real." Here we go. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Young Republicans is a political organization made up of about 15,000 members aged 18 to 40. It's actually also the oldest political youth organization in the United States. Now, they work closely with the official Republican Party, and many of its members have gone on to become Republican governors, senators, and congressmen, but they are technically an independent supporting organization. I mean, just to spell it out, their bio is recruit, train, and elect the next generation of Republican leaders. And if it's the ones in the group chat, cooked. Now, not only did they address the leak on X, saying that we are appalled by the vile and inexcusable language of those involved and they must resign immediately, but also the Republican parties of Kansas, Arizona, Missouri, and many more have also had to issue statements as well, publicly condemning the hateful language. The Vice President, J.D. Vance, he also commented, but took a very different approach. He shared a screenshot of a text exchange of a Democrat saying that this is far worse than anything said in a college group chat. I refuse to join the pearl clutching when powerful people call for political violence. Yeah, pretty intense, and the fallout as of recording has only just begun. So by the time that you're actually watching, it's probably got a lot crazier since then. But of course, I'll keep you guys updated on Friday. For now, moving on. Also, for pretty much all of you that use ChatGPT, get ready for some pretty big changes coming, because boy, is Chat about to go rogue. Oh, I don't even know if I'm looking forward to this. The CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, he just said that they will now allow adult-only features on the app starting this December, just in time for Christmas. Oh God, we're cooked. And this is because they want Chat to treat adults like adults. The way he described it on X was, in December, we roll out age gating more fully, and as part of our treat adults like adults principle, now they've got a principle for everything, do they? We will allow even more like erotica for verified adults. So it wasn't enough to cook humanity in the direction of releasing the Sora app.
Not today. Activate turbo boosters.
Whoa! Hey, stop! Keep going! Get after him!
But now we've got erotica. And look, I know that OpenAI, not the first to roll this out, not the first to do this, but remember, ChatGPT is the most used AI large language model in the world. The boomers use it. Okay, well, maybe that's an exaggeration. Some of them do. However, it should also be noted that the erotica side of it's only just one element. I think also what they're referring to is kind of like the responses that it gives you a lot of the time. It was very restrictive, and I welcome the change for chat to stop talking to me and give me responses like it's a PR professional. Not every idea that I have and I give it to it is amazing and fantastic. You're amazing, Dylan. I mean, I get enough from that as a supreme leader, not from my chat. GPT, not chat. God damn it. Now, the reason they haven't done this before and only doing it now is that, according to Sam Altman, they were being careful with people's mental health issues. However, he says that these restrictions have made the ChatGPT experience less enjoyable for many users who have no mental health problems. Now, they also do say that they'll only allow the erotica content for people that have confirmed that they are over the age of 18. But then I put my hand up and say, how are you going to do that? Do we have to submit our IDs? Because, good Lord, something feels very wrong about giving your official ID to an AI company. For reasons I don't even need to explain. But I guess regardless, this is rolling out, and when it does, looking forward to not seeing all of the stuff that you guys generate. Oh my. I mean, I guess we can't even see it in the UK. Not even accidentally stumble across it even, because if you haven't submitted your ID, then you don't. Oh my Lord, that's just occurred to me.
And that's when he realized it was true. All of it. George Orwell was right. Humanity was cooked.
Does that mean we're gonna have to submit our IDs to use ChatGPT in the UK? Gotta get out of here, man. Anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts. Do you think this is a good idea? A bad idea? Put it in the comments. Moving on. Also, speaking of world-changing things, are we officially done, guys, with superhero movies? Because this is pretty big. For the first time in a decade, not a single superhero movie is in the top 5 highest grossing films of the year. End of an era. Superman is currently at 8th, while Fantastic Four is all the way down at 10th. And I mean, it's pretty wild that those two even made it in the top 10. And I was thinking, you know, maybe people are just done with the whole superhero narrative. But then it reminded me, The Boys. Everyone loves The Boys. In fact, not only is it being topping US streaming charts, but it was also acknowledged by the Guinness World Records for being the most in-demand action and adventure TV show in 2024-2025, with a global demand rating 67 times higher than the average TV show. And I guess the biggest difference between Marvel superhero movies and The Boys is that it's kind of like, oh God, it kind of hits me. It's like the adult version of ChatGPT. God. So it's all sinking in now. What does that say about us as humanity? Do we just want to see the worst things possible in increasing manners? Maybe PG stuff should make a comeback. I think the only hope for us now is Spider-Man. That's going to be released next year, because even like the next Avengers, you know, people are just going to be watching that out of an interest, a fascination of like, what is the next Avengers after Endgame going to be like? But beyond that, I think we're cooked. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Are PG superhero movies really, finally, truly dead? Or is there going to be a comeback? Let me know. Moving on. And then Alec Baldwin is in hot water again, and not to be confused with Alex, the editor. Very separate, different things, and Alex has never been out of hot water. Because Alec is his name really Alec?
Alec Baldwin? The single greatest actor of all time.
And that is because he's being accused of now lying after a car accident he was involved in earlier this week. And this is after dash cam footage of the incident was just released and obtained by Newsmax. Now, he claims that a massive truck cut him off, which caused him to swerve and crash into a tree while driving his wife's car. He did say that, don't worry, everyone is fine, no one was injured. And according to him, this was no ordinary garbage truck. It was, quote, the size of a whale, bigger than any he had ever seen, which I'm not sure why the size of it is relevant, but yeah. And at first, everyone was like, yeah, I'm so glad you're okay, and blah, blah, blah. But then it took a massive turn after the actual dashcam footage was released of the POV of the truck. And if you watch carefully until the end, you'll see that the truck driver seems to just be making a legal right turn. And that's when, on the right-hand side, Baldwin's Range Rover swerves off the road and smashes into a tree. But from the footage, I'm not sure exactly where he's referencing the truck cutting him off. Because according to the timestamps, that truck was on the main road for over 10 seconds before Alex swerved off the road and into that tree. I mean, you can see it's quite rainy, so maybe it was harder for him to slow down, but still, if you're driving at a speed where you can't slow down before you hit the car in front of you, then you might be driving too fast. Either way, a lot of people in the comments are now just saying things like bro's being caught out yet again, and that he should be apologizing for blaming the truck driver and so on. Moving on. Oh, and then quickly, we got some quick updates, not to be confused with rapid fire news. Quick updates.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it!
HS Tiki Talkie, he's going to be in jail for longer than we expected because he was scheduled to appear again in court on Tuesday, but the case was adjourned until the 24th of October and he was denied bail. That means before his case can even be heard, he's going to be spending at least 2 weeks in jail and then he gets his actual sentencing. Good lord. Also, remember the Gen Z protest that we spoke about on Monday in Madagascar? Well, since then, not only has the president had to flee the country in fear for his life, but then late last night we got the news that Madagascar's military have just seized power. So, Gen Z, you've done it again. And then, last update for the day, Candace Owens. She has officially been banned from entering Australia. So last year, she was actually denied a visa and she legally challenged this. She said, that's crazy. So about after a year of legal back and forth, the High Court of Australia just ruled today that the decision was not invalid and then ordered her to pay for the government's legal costs in the case. Damn. I don't want to know what that is. Now, the reason they denied her speaking tour in Australia was that it would, quote, incite disorder in the Australian community, and that's according to the government. And then, lastly, actually, one more. I have something very serious to say to all South Africans watching because, well done. I cannot believe you did it. Last night, South Africa officially qualified for the World Cup for the first time since hosting the greatest World Cup the world has ever seen in 2010. Woo! And on behalf of everyone around the world watching the World Cup in 2026, we just want to say thank you because we now know the next World Cup is gonna be lit. Because South Africa and World Cups go together. Everyone, grab your vuvuzelas, let's head to the US, and let's see South Africa. Let's see him win it. Let's see him win it. I'm gonna say it. When I get older, I will be stronger. They're gonna be freedom, just like a waving flag. Congratulations, South Africa. That was so lame. I'm sorry. I thought it was gonna be more, but congratulations. Alex will add explosions and shit to make it better. Woo! Bavada, bavada! Sorry if you couldn't tell. That was the end of the video. I'll see you guys for a full week wrap up on Friday. Whippings and all. See you then. Ha ha.